Chronicles of Evimora, the warrior without Soleis. Soft wind moved through the stone hollows beneath the world. Not surface wind, not true air. The deep currents beneath Evimora carried something heavier. Heat, moisture, distant breath, the metallic scent of blood, and the muffled roar of thousands gathered far below the reach of moonlight. No Evi, no Mora, only darkness. And in that darkness, the crowd waited. A low drum echoed through the cavern. Then another. Then dozens more. The massive underground arena trembled with rhythm. Towering stone pillars, wrapped in glowing fungal veins, disappeared upward into blackness beyond sight. Suspended bridges and carved ledges circled the colossal pit below, packed shoulder to shoulder with Faelin, mercenaries, exiles, wanderers, and things less easily named. The Nocturna Veil had begun. On the surface world, tribes gathered in silence and reflection beneath absent skies. But here the forgotten came alive. 2 Kovani stood at the edge above the arena pit. One wore polished bone armor and carried himself with the calm arrogance of a proven warrior. The other wore almost nothing. Simple dark wrappings, scarred arms, broad shoulders, grey eyes, no moon color, no Soleis. The warrior beside him stared, then laughed softly through closed thought. "You actually came." Vaelrik said nothing. The other Kovani's tails shifted behind him, both ending in hardened black spikes that twitched with amusement. The smaller tail hands flexed independently near the base of each tail, gripping and releasing. "You hear them, don't you?" the warrior continued. "They're placing wagers on whether you survive the opening bell." More laughter filtered through nearby minds. Not hidden, not veiled, intentional, cruel. Vaelrik ignored them, mostly. At 21 cycles old, every Faelin should have awakened. Every single one. The Soleis Connection was not mythology. It was certainty. Eyes changed. Phora aligned. The moons answered. Always, except him. Grey eyes. Still grey. Like a child. Like something unfinished. A massive horn bellowed through the cavern. The crowd erupted. Far below, 2 fighters tore into one another in a frenzy of claws, tail spikes, and shattered stone. A Pirithous warrior spun low, molten Phora, igniting along his forearms, while his tail spike slammed toward an opponent's knee. The opponent, a Danu female, twisted impossibly sideways. Her whip-like elbow extensions snapped outward. Poison spikes flashed. The Pirithous staggered. The crowd screamed approval. That fight was quick. The voice boomed from somewhere unseen. "Enter the Veil!" The gates opened. Vaelrik descended. The arena floor was warm beneath his feet. The stone had been stained dark from generations of blood. Dust drifted through torchlight. Opposite him stood another Kovani. Larger, older, gold eyes, Soleis Evi. The warrior grinned the moment he saw Vaelrik's eyes. The entire arena felt it. No connection. A ripple of telepathic laughter spread through the nearby spectators. The Kovani rolled his shoulders. Moonlit markings shimmered faintly beneath his skin, despite the absence of true moonlight. Residual alignment, residual power. Even here, you should have stayed above, the warrior sent. His thought cutting through the cold air laced with laughter. Intentional. Designed for humiliation. The crowd loved it. Vaelrik slowly lowered into stance. Both tails spread outward behind him. The hardened spikes at their ends hovered inches above the stone. The smaller tail hands flexed, ready, balanced. The horn sounded. The Kovani exploded forward. Fast. Far faster than normal. Even deprived of moonlight, Soleis-trained bodies retained decades of instinctive Phora shaping. The warriors' tails struck first, one high, one low, both spikes driving toward Vaelrik's ribs. Vaelrik moved, barely. One tail intercepted the lower strike, while his arm caught the upper shaft near the midpoint. The impact numbed his shoulder instantly. The crowd reacted. Surprised, the warrior attacked again, this time harder. A rapid chain of strikes followed. Tail spike, elbow, knee, rotating tail sweep. A second tail thrust, relentless, disciplined. Kovani combat was not elegant. It was pressure. Continuous overwhelming force from too many limbs moving simultaneously. Vaelrik gave ground. Stone cracked beneath his feet. A tail spike sliced across his ribs. Blood ran immediately. The crowd roared. "Use Phora!" someone shouted mockingly. "He has none!" More laughter. The Kovani fighter inhaled sharply. His eyes narrowed. Then, "Valo, Thyr!" Res casting. The words vibrated through the cavern, like struck metal. Heat burst outward. Amber resonance ignited across his forearms. Not full flame, not true manifestation. The veil weakened, casting severely. But it was enough. Vaelrik's expression changed. Slightly. He had never learned casting formally. No tribe wasted training on the Soleis-less. But he knew the principles. Everyone did. 3 mind gates, 3 barriers of thought, open hearkening, to hear all minds around you, dangerous, overwhelming, selective veiling to narrow thought, to shield distraction, to focus, Vathrael, the deepest gate, alignment between thought, intent, emotion, and spoken resonance. Without Vathrael, true casting collapsed, or worse, turned inward. The Kovani attacked again, this time glowing. The strike hammered Vaelrik backward. Stone exploded beneath him. The crowd screamed approval. "Finish him!" The warrior advanced confidently, too confidently. Vaelrik spit blood, then smiled, very slightly. The Kovani hesitated, only for a moment, but moments killed. Vaelrik surged upward violently, not with Phora, with precision. His tail hands caught the warrior's wrist mid-strike. Both tails locked simultaneously around the opponent's lower leg. Then, Vaelrik twisted, hard. A sickening crack echoed through the arena. The Kovani collapsed instantly. Vaelrik drove an elbow into his throat, then slammed his tail spike directly through the stone beside the warrior's skull. 1 inch away. Silence. Brief. Absolute. The crowd stared. Vaelrik leaned close. Close enough for only the fallen warrior to hear. "You rely too much on the moons." Then he stood, and for the first time that night, the arena chanted his name. Not mockingly, not cruelly, but uncertainly, curiously, dangerously. Vaelrik, Vaelrik, Vaelrik. High above the arena, hidden within shadowed viewing chambers carved into the cavern walls, someone watched. A hooded figure sat motionless, their face concealed beneath layered dark wrappings threaded with dim violet Phora. Around them stood several silent attendants. One shifted uneasily. "He truly has no Soleis?" The hooded figure remained still, then slowly replied, "No." He paused. "And that is precisely why he interests me."